Hello and welcome to The Beat, a news and talk program brought to you by the Center for Community Media at Worcester State University. I'm your host, Joshua Vuncomhill, and today we'll be discussing the honors program here at Worcester State University with Dr. Cleve Wiese. Professor, how are you?
Great, how are you doing?
Good,
Thanks
good.
so much for having me.
No problem. So my first question to you today is, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how your background led you to Worcester State University and eventually the honors program?
Sure. So I teach in the English department. I teach mostly writing and journalism classes. I guess if I'm going to talk about my background, well, when I went to college in Memphis, Tennessee at Rhodes College, was not in the honors program by any means, but I studied English there, and then after that went on to study journalism and work as a journalist, and then went back to school to study rhetoric and writing in particular. And that's kind of how I ended up teaching here, or how I was able to come here and teach at Worcester State. As far as how that led me to the honors program, like as I said, I wasn't in the honors program in college, but I think I first started thinking about honors programs actually through my brother-in-law, who was in the honors program at the University of Central Arkansas. And he talked a lot about, in our conversations, about how much of an impact that had on his college experience. How it just kind of gave him opportunities he wouldn't otherwise have had, and how it created a really sort of beneficial community within the larger school at UCA. And I think maybe because of that, I became more aware of the honors program here at Worcester State and more interested in kind of what it can do for our students. So that was one connection.
Wow. Can you explain to us a little bit about what the honors program is like here at the university?
Sure. So the honors program, so if you're an incoming freshman and in your high school you have a GPA, an adjusted GPA of 3.5 or higher, then you'll get an invitation, essentially. But that's not the same thing as being in the honors program. At that point, you have to sort of elect to want to participate, and then you'll, if you choose to join the honors program, then you'll be admitted once you're admitted to Worcester State. So once you're in the honors program, you have to maintain a 3.2 GPA or higher. You have to take 7 honors classes in your college career, and if you're coming in, that's if you're coming in as a freshman, and that includes like a special section of composition. So whereas most students take two semesters of college writing, honors students take 1, and it's a special honors class. It counts towards the total 7 classes. And there's also a special section of honors first year seminar, which also counts. So if you're coming in not as a freshman, then you only have to take 6 classes, and you also have to have a 3.5 GPA at your previous institution. But another important thing I want to point out about how students get into the honors program is that if you're a sophomore or a junior that didn't come in as an honors student, it's still possible to become one, provided you have a 3.5 GPA or higher. And it's a little, in some ways it's more challenging if you come in later because you have to take a lot of honors classes later in your college career. But it's not impossible. It is possible to come in even in your junior year. So we're very much interested in Worcester State students that want to join the honors program, and also transfer students that come in and want to participate. But as far as what the honors program looks like, you take honors classes. All honors students are required to take or to participate in at least 2 honors events every semester. So we call them honors events, but there's a wide swath of possibilities. I mean, the honors program itself does a lot in terms of bringing speakers to campus, creating events on campus. We have social events as well, like we do honors, we call them honors coffee hours, usually at least once a month or so, where we bring in someone from around campus or in the community to come and just kind of informally meet with students. Things like that all count. So that's sort of some of what the honors program looks like in terms of day-to-day life. And I should also mention that honors students can participate in a Commonwealth honors project later on in their college career, which is a really great way to get some concrete research experience and also recognition in graduation. You're recognized as a Commonwealth honors scholar, which is the same designation no matter what school you come from. It's like a really high honor, and it's the same honor that anybody anywhere in the state can get. So yeah.
Cool. So other than what you've stated before and some of that, what are some of the benefits of participating in the honors program?
Well, I think there are a lot of benefits. I mean, for one thing, you get to draw on some of the best instruction at our university. I mean, these are courses. So any student can take classes with any of the professors that teach in the honors program, but there are honors-only classes that you could only take as an honors student, and even within classes where they're not exclusively honors classes, but they're what we call by-the-head honors classes. So there's like a regular class where some students are honors and some students aren't, but the honors students have like additional coursework and sort of, in some ways, like a deeper engagement with the materials. So you get to do that, and you get to work with the professors in that way. And also, you get a lot of opportunities to do further research with your professors, and other opportunities as well. I mean, I mentioned the Commonwealth Honors program, which is a really excellent opportunity. But also, you know, as an honors student, you get, I think, more opportunities to study abroad, not only in terms of what's available to you, but also in terms of like funding and scholarships. We have a lot of funding in the honors program to help people study abroad or to do research domestically as well. You know, honor students can apply for funding if they need to go to, we had a student last semester that had to go to Detroit to do some research there, for example, and so we were able to support that. So there's a lot of opportunities in that regard. But also it's a really wonderful community, I think, of sort of like-minded scholars and people from all different disciplines. But I think, you know, when you come in as a freshman in the honors program, you can elect to live in a certain area in the dorms, so you kind of get to know your fellow honor students really well. And you know, even if you don't do that, or if you're a commuter, still you get to really know honor students through like the coffee hours, the social events. We do field trips and other types of we do a Boston trip every year. We do an overnight New York trip every year as well. So I think it's a really nice community on campus too. I could go on. I'm trying to think. Maybe I don't want to ramble too much, but
no, that's fine. That's fine. Now, what does your position as assistant director entail for the honors program, and how does that differ from the director's work?
Well, I think in some ways our jobs are similar, but Dr. Dillip just has you know, a bigger job in a lot of ways in terms of a lot of the administrative tasks are heavier on her shoulders, but we both do a lot of work in terms of advising students. We do a lot of thinking about honors courses, approving honors courses, helping to develop honors courses. We do a lot of work planning events, planning speaker events, and sort of managing those events once we plan them. You know, so we also are at this point doing a lot of thinking about ways to. And maybe this is a little premature to say on this television show. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but right now we're an honors program, and we're hoping to transition to an honors college, which would be a sort of higher designation for the program. So we're doing a lot of thinking right now about what that would entail and how to make that happen. But on a day-to-day basis, we sort of we have to review and approve applications to be in the honors program, review and respond to applications for Commonwealth honors projects, you know, help students with their honors coursework and their decisions about what courses to take. So, you know, all of that kind of is involved in my position as assistant director.
That's a lot. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's really fun though. I love that. I love this job. It's great to work with the students.
Now, why did you decide to become involved with the honors program?
Well, I mean, I said that about my brother-in-law, and you know, I think that it's a really important part of our campus community. I think, you know, it's important for honor students to be able to sort of draw on all the opportunities that are here at Worcester State, but to make them available in this sort of intense and rigorous academic structure. So I don't know. I just thought that it's something that I cared about, and the opportunity to apply for the position came up, and I just sort of jumped on it. So.
Wow, without a second thought. So what are some programs and initiatives here at Worcester State that the school offers to honor students as well as other students to help enrich their education and contribute to their academics?
So I mentioned like the speakers that we bring in. You know, for example, a couple semesters ago we brought in Josh Fox. Last semester we brought in Josh Fox, the filmmaker and environmental activist. And that was a really kind of amazing event. We sponsored, and that's just one speaker. We have more speakers coming this next semester. Actually, right now on campus we have four visiting Buddhist scholars from a monastery in India that are doing a number of talks and participating in honors classes. So all of that is available to the whole campus community, but it's sponsored by the honors program. And as far as these four visiting scholars, they're teaching an honors class, which has some not all the students in the class are honors students, but it's specifically an honors class. So that's an example of the kinds of things that the honors program makes available for students. So we care a lot about fostering intellectual dialogue and inquiry on campus for honors students for sure, but for everybody too. So that's why we really try to bring in good speakers and host good events. But as far as what's available specifically to honors students, I mentioned the classes, the study away opportunities and funding, and the community that we kind of try to build on campus with honors students.
That's really good. That's awesome. Now, a lot of students here try to balance their education with other priorities such as working or committing to family or even extracurricular activities like sports, theater, music. What would be your advice to those who might be having a difficult time trying to balance it all?
Wow, that's a really good question. Maybe I should get some advice about that myself. But yeah, I think I would say that if you're passionate about a lot of things, you should go for it. You should do what you feel moved to do in terms of your different extracurricular activities. I know a lot of students at Worcester State have a huge amount on their plate. Actually, ever since coming here, that's something that has been most moving for me, or just really striking, how much our students are able to do and do well. Students that work a lot, students that have family responsibilities that take up a lot of time, and yet they're still able to do all these other things, you do well in their academics and do other extracurricular things, and that's amazing. So I have extreme admiration for all of those people. But I think I would say, if you have a passion, you should try to, even though your schedule is demanding, try to do what you can and try to really, put everything you have into it. And at the same time, sometimes if we overextend ourselves, then we can't really commit to anything, or at least not as deeply as we would like. So maybe sometimes it's good to focus on the things that matter most to you and not drive yourself crazy.
So finally, in your own words, can you tell us why a student might want to join the honors program if they are eligible?
Well, I'll start with the most, maybe the most obvious answer, which would be if you are in the honors program, then you get that recognition. So when you're thinking about life beyond college and applying for jobs, if you can say that you're in the honors program, that's really sort of powerful marker of your academic achievement. And especially if you become a Commonwealth honors scholar, then that also is a really amazing example of your academic success. So that can be something that can help you get a job or kind of get your foot in the door. But moving back, I think that during your college career, if you're an honors student, you get opportunities that will be really beneficial in terms of what you get to do with professors, the courses you get to take, the other honors experiences that you get to participate in, and the community that you get to be a part of. So I think those are all good reasons for joining.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for being here today. That was a lot of information that's very useful to the students here at Worcester State. Thank you for watching this segment of The Beat. Please remember to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. We'll see you next time.